Okay, so today we're going to do IShowSpeed, who's a content creator, quite young. I think he's like 21, 22 years old. Um, Probably the most popular content creator influencer with young kids. I think he's all over the place. I think he's gotten really famous over the years because he's been very interested in soccer, and so he might come off as an extrovert, but I think we will go through his typing, and I think it might shock a few people. But if you've been in the typology community, I think you might be able to pick up his type a bit. But let's go through with the video.
Keep people happy, want to keep making people laugh, and I want to keep reaching. I want to keep going higher, and I will, and I'm speed.
Hey there, folks.
Okay, so first up there, we can actually see he's already showing a bit of his cognitive functions where he seems to be very high in his own ambition, which is very much an introverted intuition trait with pursuing what he wants. And also, I want to make people smile. I want to make people happy. That's also a very extroverted feeling trait, which tends to care more about how other people's happiness as well. So if you know Speed, he's very much an entertainer. He's clearly a SE user, which is Extraverted Sensing, because he likes to draw people's attention. He's very good at it. And the way, if you watch him, it's very unique at the way that he kind of draws attention at sometimes. So let's keep going.
Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic. IShowSpeed's honest interview with Jon Youshaei. This interview that we've relationships experience. He does a refreshing change. Next
to like
Sport was in any country.
I never break down that live stream because a lot of people watched it, but I feel like people like just understanding the different moments of what happened is just, it blew my mind. So I picked out a few different clips from that Indonesia stream. Can you just break down what's going on here?
Look at what
Listen, when I do my IRL streams, shit get wild and shit get crazy. So I pop this. That's like 1 hour in my stream.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even think probably 1 hour, maybe 40 minutes, and for maybe 30, 40 minutes into that stream. So once I pop that stream, shit gets turned. Everything gets crazy. Everybody turns up, and everybody they knew where I was at. Everybody pulled up and they have fun. We turn up.
But you know what's crazy is like a lot of creators will try to do meetups and get people to come. You didn't even announce the location of where you were going.
Oh no. We never know. I couldn't. If I announced the location of where I'm gonna be at, it would be too hectic. Like I wouldn't even be able to walk. Like I can barely walk now, even just doing IRL stream, and I wouldn't even be able to move. So I cannot give out any location.
Does it ever get like too crazy?
Yes.
What are some of the crazier moments?
I was in Malaysia. I was locked inside of literally a restaurant. Like I couldn't get out of the restaurant because.
So if you hear how he's describing here, it tends to be he's referring to external objects with how he describes his experiences. And so that is extroverted sensing right there. Again, you see a really strong introverted intuition with him, really strong. So he would most likely be a high NI user, which most likely will be either basically an NJ we're looking at here for Speed, because his ambition is one of the most high for his age. It's extremely high, for unusual as well. Very interesting character.
There was too many people and I just couldn't get out. It just wouldn't be safe. For instance, really in Austria, I was locked in another restaurant. It's usually when I go into a place. Even in Norway, oh my God, that was probably the worst. In Norway, I went into a souvenir I stayed in there for like 10 minutes. When I tried to get out, it was too many people and I couldn't get out. Then when
How do you plan your live streams? Like what mix is like spontaneous, let's just wing it and go?
So there's something here where I think a lot of people make the mistake of when people talk about their own experiences, what frame are they talking in? So introverted intuition types, when they talk about their own personal experiences, it tends to be in sort of a direction of where they are going. Whereas introverted senses, it tends to be where they're kind of like talking about their own reactions to what's happening around them, like everything is happening to them. Whereas you can see here, Speed, when he's talking about his own experiences, it's always through the direction of where he's going forward in time. So that's something interesting. So I know other people, they like to say that introverted senses tend to talk about their own past and crap like that. But I really, all you have to do is just pay attention to when they talk about themselves and what direction are they going. If you tend to hear them talk about the direction of their own journey or like their own progress in the moment of going forward, that tends to be introverted intuition. Whereas introverted senses, they tend to sort of stay still kind of when they describe things and like everything's happening to them. So it's quite a subtle difference. But yeah, he's definitely a strong NI user.
Versus let's hit these stops while we're in this country?
it's pretty like pretty much improvised and just natural. Obviously, we plan out the like which location we're gonna go to, but everything is just natural. Like everything is just random events, you know. Like stuff just happens, you know.
There's no like, because I talk to a lot of YouTubers who are like, all right, I got to think about the idea, I got to think about my intro, what I'm gonna say. Like, nah, you're winging everything.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of streaming. That's why I love streaming. You know, no scripting, straight having fun.
Can you tell me about other moments where you've streamed all over?
He also seems very direct as well. He's not really that informative. He's just going straight to the point. Really giving, and he's very precise with what he thinks as well, which is very much a introverted thinker trait. Where extroverted thinkers, they tend to be a bit more vague and open to context, whereas I think Speed here, he kind of gives a very little context and he just goes straight to the point.
Over the world, and even in Albania, like the prime minister heard you were in town, and then did he like? How did that happen?
No,
like,
that was crazy. See, look, like that's what I mean by like stuff just be happening. I don't even know how. Like, I was IRL streaming, then some kid literally randomly came up to my security, was like, I know the prime minister. Then my security was like, nah, you're like, like you chatting shit, leave. But I was like, no, hear him out. Then I heard him out. Literally, we got his number. Like 20 minutes later in my stream, we pull up to the prime minister thing. I met him. Like, then like, it went crazy. Like, that's what I mean, how like stuff just be happening, That's why I love streaming. Like, it's just everything's live and anything can happen, That's why I truly love it.
Well, was there other moment, like because now you're huge and like anywhere you go, you attract attention. Like people are gifting you stuff, like they're, introducing you to prime ministers. Was there a moment when you were just starting out where you're like, oh wow, like my streams feel different now? It's not just me like in Ohio or traveling to a few locations. It's like feels bigger than before. Like, do you remember that turning point?
I think when I did my first Euro tour. That's when I first did, like, that was my first tour, and we improvised that so well. It wasn't supposed to be a tour at all, but we made it to one. Like I was like, whoa, like, this is something that I'm actually doing big. Then after the Euro tour, I followed up with the Southeast Asia tour. Now I'm doing more tours. But that Euro tour, that really set my eyes open. Like, it really made me think about so much that I can do. It opened up doors, a lot of doors.
Yeah, so that seems to be extroverted sensing right there. The more things that I can do, that's the NPs, the types that with low SE, they tend to be not aware of things that they can do. Whereas Speed, by taking action, he realizes more possibilities, and within those possibilities, it's more about more actions that he can take. Whereas a extroverted intuition type, it's more about the possibilities, but less about the action. And so it's more about expanding the limits of possibilities. Where here it seems Speeds cares more about action and doing unique experiences as well. So I think very much I've hammered introverted intuition, but we'll start looking between extroverted thinking and introverted thinking as well. But right now, it looks like a Templar.
Do you ever anticipate that you'd be like turning your live stream into, you know, like going around the world, or when you started, you're just like, you know, I'm gonna do the gaming, play 2K, Fortnite?
Hell no, bro. I played Fortnite. I played FIFA, 2K. Like, I would have never thought I'd be traveling to countries doing streaming. Like, no. But, you know, stuff happens, you know. Hey, I would never thought.
Yeah,
not at
be
all.
able to do that. I got to ask about one other clip that I imagine you had to plan this one. Like, this is one that I feel like just broke the internet in so many ways. Tell me about what's going on here.
Oh, me jumping over the car.
Come, another one. Come.
But that one, that's, yeah.
You jumping over 2 Lambos.
Yes, I actually did that. So I do want to make that clear. This is real. This is true. I did it in the actual street. There's multiple camera angles. There's even people recording that's like regular people. That's like, everything's real. I actually did that. Like, after you do it, because it happens like in 2 seconds. Like, soon as you get down, you like, let's go. Like, I did it. So I love that feeling. But yeah, I can.
Okay, I love that feeling. Okay, so that's something about extroverted feelers, is that they tend to refer to feelings from an external object as well. And so introverted feelers, it's more from their own source. But here he seems to like refer to certain situations, and then he tries to chase a certain feeling, which is very strong for extroverted feelers. Introverted feelers like myself, we don't really chase feeling that much. Feeling tends to happen to us naturally, but extroverted feelers, they really their emotions are more tied when other people around them, or through other things like culture, or there's a lot of intensity or emotion. They can really have a sense of feeling. So he's very much looking like an INFJ here, with a strong NI and a strong extroverted feeling here. But we'll continue on.
Jump over cars. That's something that I can say. I can jump over a 45 miles per hour car running at me, and I'm the first person to do that.
Well, how did you come up with that idea? I mean, to do it.
Okay, listen. So, you know, I got a Lamborghini, right? So there was just one day I was just looking at my Lamborghini. I'm like, I can jump over this. And I had that thought on my head for like 2 days. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna jump over this car today. Then my whole team was.
Yeah, so there again, strong NI. He's already having ideas in his head of what he can do. Like, I don't think many people would just look at a Lamborghini and just be like, oh yeah, I can jump over it. But because Speed's very strong with his NI, and he leans into his ideas a lot, which is something that high NI users do. If they have an idea, they'll pursue it to the fullest extent. It doesn't matter what it is. If they think it's possible, they'll go for it. And so he's looking like an INFJ here.
Was like, no, bro, what are you doing? Blah, blah. No. I'm like, no, I'm doing it. Like, I believe I can do it. I believe I can jump over this car. So boom, we go to the park down the street. We do test runs. We have the car just drive past me to the side, and I just jump over it, and I record it to see if I can clear it. Did it around 4 times, and I was clearing it every time. Now this is where the real test comes. So we at the park. The car is running towards me, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, every bone in my body is like, let's go. I jump over. I was like, let's go. Like, I did it. And then my fucking cameraman, the angle was terrible. So I had to do it again. So boom, I jumped over the car again. Then the camera, then the drone camera didn't record. So then a third time I did it. Then it got all the right angles. Then I posted it on Instagram.
How do you think about your YouTube channels? Because you have your main one that has over 33 million subscribers, and then you have your clips one where you take like 6.
Yeah, he seems when he describes things, he's very factual about what happens. So he very much cares about what he knows is true. That's not to say that TI users actually care about the truth, but they do tend to care about what they themselves know to be true. So it is looking like he's an INFJ, but we'll finish up the video here and then figure more evidence for INFJ. He's definitely an SE user. He's not informative at all. I haven't seen him initiate any topics as well. So he's not an extrovert, but I think a lot of people might mistake Speed for being an extrovert because of how much energy he is, but it has less to do with the intensity of your energy and more about how you talk to people. Are you initiating the conversation? Are you bringing new topics? Are you changing the topics? But introverts, they tend to like to respond, and if they're responding, they don't like to be interrupted. Initiators, they like to change the conversation towards what they want to talk about, and then they don't like to be interrupted as well. So that I have not seen. So I don't think Speed is an extrovert. I definitely think he's an extroverted sensor. Which would leave being an introvert and extroverted sensor, that leaves 4 types, being the ISTP, the INTJ, the INFJ, and the ISFP. He's not informative, so he's not going to be an ISFP, and he's very much cares about feelings and chasing feelings, which tends to be extroverted feeler as well. So it's either ISTP or INFJ, but because of his strong NI, he has to be an INFJ. So let's finish up this video.
6-7 minute like moments from the live streams, and then you have like even shorter form clips on TikTok, like live. Like there's just a whole like Speed universe. Can you break down those different channels, like how many subscribers they have?
My main channel has 33 million. Live Speedy has, I might be wrong, I think 12.4 million. Speedy Boykins, my clips channel, has 2 million. And I have another channel, it's called Speed Universe. I think it just hit 2 million or 3 million. And each of them is different.
How are they different?
My main channel is just everything raw, just my like my actual raw full live streams. Live Speedy is just the highlights of each of the live stream. Speedy Boykins are like a minute and under clips, or 2-minute clips, or 13. Sometimes it'd be a 13-second clip of the live stream. And Speed Universe is like another version of Live Speedy, but in a different format way. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me more.
So you also see when Speed communicates, he tends to be aware of what people care about. So the way he gives information is very much what people would like to know. That's something that extroverted feelers do a lot, whereas extroverted thinkers, they do not. They tend to just give maybe more information, what people might want to know in the future or might be useful for further outcomes. But extroverted feelers, they know what people like and they know what people want to know. So when you listen to them, they tend to be very easy to listen naturally, because they're very aware of why people ask questions and what information they want to gather from them.
Okay, so say if I flew on a bird in Cambodia, the live Speedy video would be like Speed flies on a bird and blah 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 in Cambodia, and Speed Universe would be like, it would be like another title and like a different thumbnail, just like a different feel into Live Speedy, but it's different.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
How are you deciding what moments from those 3-4 hour live streams to clip, like the 6-minute version, the 1-minute version, the other 1 minute? Like, how do you think about that?
I'm a professional at what I do, at content creating, and if that's a video, that's a video. Like, it's just really picking up the best moments. And I know what's the best moments, and I know what will make a video.
Is that right after the stream ends? Like you're deciding, let me clip that moment, or like?
I mean, I'm not the one clipping it.
You're not.
Sometimes I could be streaming like during the stream, and say if I just met freaking Namor, my editor will already be on that and edit and post it while I'm live streaming.
Really?
Yes.
So they're watching.
Yes. All of my editors watch the live stream as I'm like, I text them, I'm like, yo, I'm live. Like, I tell them the time that I'm live, and I tell them what I'm doing just to give them a heads up. Sometimes they even they like pre-make a thumbnail so they can get it up quick. But I text them when I'm live, and I tell them, and they're watching the live stream, and they sometimes get the video as I'm live.
Whoa. And when you say they pre-make a thumbnail, it's like, okay, you meeting Neymar.
Okay. Say if I know that I'm like meeting Neymar,
yeah,
they will somehow put like just like Neymar ready. I don't know how thumbnail editors do it. They somehow get me ready, and then they just put it up.
Did you ever anticipate that you'd be like turning your live stream into, you know, like going around the world, or when you started, you're just like, you know, I'm gonna do the gaming, play 2K, Fortnite?
Hell no, bro. I played Fortnite. I played FIFA, 2K. Like, I would have never thought I'd be traveling to countries doing streaming. Like, no. But you know, stuff happens. You know, I would never thought.
Okay, so that's a view. I think one thing with Speed is he really sticks to what he knows. He doesn't really talk more than the limit of his knowledge, but because he's an introverted thinker, he's very much aware of, he can pick up quickly what is true or false if he actually thinks about it. You can definitely, if you ever watch him, you realize that there's a lot of things he doesn't know that he probably should know, but it's very hilarious to watch. But yeah, Speed, 100% INFJ, very good guy. I think he's one of the more entertaining content creators, and probably one of the more positive ones as well. So INFJ for Speed.